Hello, hello. I hope all is well wherever you are. So, I feel really, really good this morning. It's a little after 8:30 and I got my morning tea, my green tea. And today though, I recently discovered my new favorite podcast, and it's That Was Us. Oh my goodness. How did I not know about this sooner? So, I literally just finished my This Is Us marathon on Netflix. I say about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, I had just wrapped it up because I, like many others, I stopped watching it because it was just so emotional all the time, and I just needed a break, and I ended up taking a break and I never went back. And then I saw it was on Netflix, so I said, let me finish, because I didn't not like the show. I love the show. So I said, let me just start over and rewatch it, and it was just so beautiful. I mean, it's just a very well made show about just life and family and navigating life. um so then, how did I stumble upon it? Oh, I saw a couple of clips of This Is Us on TikTok, and then um, that led me to seeing Sterling K. Brown talk about That Was Us, and I'm like, what? So I subscribed in a heartbeat. And so then I started watching the episodes last night, and I tell you, like, just like the show, they drop so many nuggets, and it's so many different things that you can expand on yourself to talk about. And that's what it always, I end up feeling like even when I watched the show, there was a couple of things that I wrote down, like, I gotta talk about that. Ooh, I can expand on that, especially when it relates to your life. So, oh my goodness. So, yes, that would definitely be a playlist, and it's going to be podcast nuggets, because even now, like, the most recent one that I came across was Bully and Bullied. And let me tell you, I know, like, a lot of us have been touched by a bully at some time, at some point in our life. And I mean, that can go for childhood and adulthood, especially in your own home, in the workplace, all of that. But specifically, what gosh, I know Mandy and I know Sterling, but I am forgetting Tobias's real name. So I'm just gonna do Toby, okay? He was talking about, raising kids, and specifically, a time where his kid was on the playground and his son was being picked on because he had on pink shoes, and how, like, he didn't know how to handle and navigate that without, essentially telling the little girl or the kids who were picking on his son, telling them about themselves, and just wanting to, get in there and save the day, essentially. So, I don't have any kids, but I am an aunt, and I do have access to my niece. I keep her, I see her, I am involved, right? So that story took me back to a time where I took her to the playground because my niece, she's very, very sociable. She loves to meet and greet and play. Like, it's nothing for her to go up to kids at the playground and ask them to play with them, to run around with them, or whatnot. Like, she's very, very, very sociable. And this one day we were at the playground, and there were 3 girls. They were sisters. They looked like they were sisters playing with each other. And they were the only ones there, plus my niece. I think it was just those 4 at the playground. So we were swinging together, and then she got down and attempted to, join these 3 girls, and they kept running from her. They kept, running away from her, and like she followed for a little bit, and like I'm watching this whole thing go down, and like they are obviously not engaging her, not trying to include her, and like, and you can't shield them from these experiences because it does teach them something. But this day I called her back over to me, and just told her, like, they don't appear to want to play with you, and she was like insisting, like, but I want to play with them. I want to play, and being torn. And it's like, I don't want her to be. I'm an introvert. It's nothing for me to enjoy my own company, but I also do not want to project that onto what is obviously a very sociable child. So I knew to hold my tongue quite a bit, and not telling her, like, she has to learn how to play by herself, which she does need to know that. But also, I'm not trying to stifle any part of her that does, get enjoyment out of playing with other children. That's also an invaluable skill to have, is to be able to socialize and, flourish in different environments. But, it just bugged me that she kept trying and they just kept dissing her, and it's like, and they don't have to play with her. They don't have to include her. And it wasn't like they were actually being mean, I don't think, because I didn't actually hear any words exchanged or whatever. But there is a part of you that do want to shield the littles from so much, and you just can't. Like, you have to let these things play out sometimes, so that they do continue to develop their character and how they continue to interact with other people. So I felt Tobias when he was talking about, wanting to just get in there and, like, take his kid from the situation, and, essentially force the children to be nice to each other. And my goodness, like, aside from that occasion, like, kids, and I know they learn, they absorb environments, like, so many things come into play with this. But kids can be so mean to each other. And it can start so young. And so, like, even in my own childhood, being taunted and teased and bullied and all of that. And it's just like, why? Especially, and nobody deserves to be bullied, number one. Nobody deserves to be bullied. But it does seem like it's always the quiet, shy kids that get it the most, that don't bother anybody, and literally try to mind their own business. They don't even have a big circle of friends, and they just seem to get it the most in the worst. And I have dealt with some form of bullying all through schooling. Like, I don't remember that much in elementary school, but oh my God, I vividly remember middle school and high school, vividly. And I stood up for myself, but it always came when I just literally couldn't take anymore. And then it just came out in the worst way, and I always ended up getting in trouble. And but once that happened, once I reached my point, then I wasn't bothered anymore. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. But like, you really can, like, you cannot. And if it's not any type of, and she never came to me crying, going back to my niece, she never came to me crying or anything like that. I had one moment where she would say, like, they don't want to play with me, and like, and then that's when I tell her, like, play with yourself. Because a lot of times, like, she doesn't want to play with me. Like, she'll swing with me. She'll let me push her. I'll climb on the jungle gyms with her. Like, I will get on the playground with her. But she would prefer to play with other children if they're there. Now, that's not always her experience. Now, I've been able to sit on the sidelines and watch her just run. I would just watch her run on the playground, holding hands with other kids. The last place we went to a splash pad that had a lot of children there, and she made immediate friends with several of the kids, and they just ran around, splashed, got wet, dunked under this big old bucket. Like, she was having the time of her life, and I just let her have it. Like, I was on my phone, I was watching them play, I was taking pictures. She came to me literally just to wash her face, and she's back off. And then eventually, her and her friends for the day came to me to, talk, ask me my name, introduce themselves. She is very loving. She's very kind. She is so sweet. She's such a sweet kid. And she really is loving, and she loves people. She loves being entertained. And at the same time, she can also entertain herself. But her preference is to be with people, to be around her peers. I believe that's her preference. That's what I can see. But I have definitely, talked to her about also enjoying your own company. I mean, and that is the season that I myself have been in for the last few years. And it's important. It really is. It is important to be able to socialize, but it is just as important to be able to enjoy your own company, especially in a world where you cannot make people do anything that they don't want to do. You cannot make people be around you, play with you, be friends with you, do things with you. And you also cannot let that stop you from enjoying your life and doing the things that you want to do, and you want to do, but you don't do them because you don't have anyone to do them with, and then you miss out on the experience entirely. Don't do that. Never, ever, ever, ever do that. Because you're not always going to have someone to experience life with, and you should be able to do something solo and still enjoy it as much as you would have with someone. You have to be that okay in your own presence, in your own company. And don't do it just to do it. You won't even get that much enjoyment out of it if you're just like, And that's why you have to find a way to actually enjoy yourself, enjoy your time alone. It's important because a lot of people do not know how to enjoy their own company. So it's always a balance. It's always a balance. See, for me, I actually need to work on my social skills. I need to work on networking and being able to tolerate a group of people, and not even and even not really even then, but it's something I want to do. It's not something I need to do, but we'll get there. But as far as solo dolo, I am an expert and I love it here. So I have to find my own balance, and I will get there when I get there. So that was us nugget. More to come. Definitely there will be more to come. Till next time.